Hey everyone, welcome into Universal Beauty. Today we are exploring the uncharted waters of blue eyeshadow. So this is going to be involving the Morphe 35V palette, which I have here to show you. And the beautiful colors inside that give us an amazing range of blues. So if you'd like to know how to achieve this look or something similar, just keep on watching. All right, let's get to it. First of all, I'm going to show you the Morphe 35V palette. This is the Stunning Vibes palette. It's an artistry palette. Comes like that. And I liked the idea of this one because it's got a lot of blues in it. And you know, that's such an eyeshadow color that traditionally people are so afraid of because, you know, you can really go wrong. Anyway, here we go, Morphe. And opens up. I'm gonna take it has a list of all the colors so that, you know, you can do that. But look at these pretty colors. See all those blues though? It goes, the nice thing about these palettes, these artistry palettes, is that you have your choice of shimmers. Here, there's a couple here in the blues. Down here, and then there's mattes and transition colors. So you've kind of got your mix of all kinds of stuff, but I just love the different shades of blue and matte and shimmer that you get here. This one is reading a little bit charcoaly dark, and it's actually not, it's like a navy blue. But anyway, really good color. So I'm giving it a whirl today, and we're gonna muddle through. I'm gonna put the titles of what they are just up there so that I can tell you what we're using as we move along. And let me see, first things first, I have my hair pulled back, but I'm thinking I should probably put a hairband on just so everybody can see what we are doing. I know this looks dumb, but whatever. My skin has a little bit of that Tan Luxe sleep oil on it, so I'm going to go with the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation today because it's a little bit more tan, and you just have to shake this stuff up a little bit. This one is in the shade 7. So that's what I'm using today to get this going. You know, the hot weather just really, it plays havoc with makeup for people, and I know that sometimes, especially if you are living in, well, pretty much any other part of the country, God, except where I am, it is really warm right now, and there's nothing more frustrating than going outside and having your makeup just be melting on you all day long. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Probably, I'm thinking about doing like a summer face saver video next week. I'm going to try to see if I can do that midweek and just kind of talk about ways to help keep your look in place. Anyway, all right, so I've primered my face already, and I used the Too Faced Hangover RX. Can you see that? Okay, that one. And all right, now I'm just going in, and I just like to put a few lines of color on, and it's a pretty good match, you can see, because you're not seeing like a whole lot of lines of demarcation for me just kind of dotting this onto my skin. So that's good. That means you kind of matched yourself pretty well. Okay, not going too heavy either. You all know that I'm not like a full coverage girl. I'm kind of light coverage. I like it better that way. So I'm taking my damp blending tool, and I'm just bouncing that color into place just to even out the skin tone, because I get a lot of redness and dark spots and that kind of thing. I think I have some real hyperpigmentation going on like right under my eyes that I can't stand, but you know, you can put that over the lid too, you know, just bounce it all over your face, get it into your hairline, and it's okay if it stains up some of your hair because you can fix that later too. If I didn't have earrings on, it'd kind of be hitting my earlobes better, but I don't really feel like cleaning the jewelry later. Okay. All right, that's pretty much an even enough match. I like to just, you know, really kind of lightly press under my eyes, especially because I don't like anything settling in any lines. So anywhere you have lines, I like to just press with my fingers to try to solve that. Okay. I feel like it's reading kind of orangey on camera, and it's really actually not that way, but such as it goes. Okay, so now if you have that kind of tacky feeling, this Laura Mercier translucent powder, you know, famous for setting, and it's just a loose translucent powder, can be used with any skin tone. You just get yourself like a fluffy brush. This one's one of those Too Faced teddy bear brushes, and I just put like a little bit in the cap, you know, and swirl it around, and then even knock out the excess, because this is exactly the kind of stuff that will settle into lines if you're not careful. And you're just kind of, I just don't like the, you know, the tacky feeling that sometimes, especially in the summer, that you can feel from putting on any kind of foundation or even moisturizer. I don't go too heavy under my eyes because, again, you don't want anything settling. So anyway, that just kind of fixes it in place so we can get going on the other stuff. I feel like sometimes, you know, with blue eyeshadow, and a lot of times with the grays and stuff too, there's a lot of fallout. So we're going to address that as the time comes, because if it was like another time where I really had experience and I knew there was going to be a ton of fallout, I might do eyes first and then remove that and then do foundation. There's no hard, fast rule. You can do your eyes first or your foundation first. Doesn't matter, whatever you're comfortable with. Anyway, today we've done foundation first. So the way to keep moving with this, there's a couple of different ways to do blue eyeshadows. I think you kind of want to, if you're looking for something that's wearable and, you know, that you could just have that kind of interesting pop of color, I think you want to keep to the matte shades, because sometimes the shimmery or the shiny stuff, it doesn't always help, and it kind of tends to make the look a little costumey. So if you mix like the matte blues with some warm neutrals, or even some slate gray kind of neutrals, I think you're gonna find it much more wearable. Now let's say if you are purposely going for a dynamic look, if you are going to a club, or if you're going to a party, or if it is like kind of a festive thing where you do want to be a little bit extra, by all means, you go with those electric blues, and there's a way to do that too, where you don't end up looking necessarily like you're in drag. You know, you can do that. So a couple of different ways to start this today. I think what I'm gonna kind of go from the bottom up. Like sometimes you would start with your transition color, then a lid color, an under eye, then a corner, and then the middle. But I think, okay, for this one, I'm gonna start now. You would go with like a blue. There's so many different colors of blue. I'm gonna move on to this one. This is Physician's Formula. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I want. It's just a deep dark blue, and I'm doing under my eye as well. You don't have to be really precise with this because we're gonna blend it up. So don't worry if you have skip marks or if you didn't get the lines straight. It's all good. Don't worry. Going in there. And underneath. And as I have mentioned to you guys before, I like doing my upper waterline too, because I don't like any flesh tone underneath my lashes. Now, if you don't do this normally, don't pick now to start. That's something you kind of almost have to, for lack of a better description, you have to build up a callus to that, because when you first do it, your eyes will water terribly. But I do it all the time, and it's just my way. So it's just running that color right under the lashes. God, it's hard to do that and talk at the same time, but anyway, you get the point. Okay, may have to touch that up again, but for now, just drawing that line. Okay, So we've got this going. Now we're gonna take a brush, like a kind of a stiff small brush. Let's see what I have here to do it with. Gosh, you know what I'm gonna use? This right here is one of these brushes that's just got a sponge tip on the end. And it's a kind of a stiff sponge. I'm gonna just take that and blend. Again, not being, you don't have to care too much. You don't need to be too careful. And you're just kind of blending it up towards your lid. You're not removing it. Don't push so hard that you're getting rid of product. You're just taking away the line and giving it a bit of a blur. Okay. Got a little dot of it right there. Okay. So it's just a little bit blended. Okay, so that was the sponge. Now I think what I'm gonna do is start off with this color down here that is called Fling. It looks like this. It's kind of a navyish blue. I'm going to take a pencil brush. This one is, I believe, a Sigma E30. It looks like that. It's very similar to the sponge tip we just used. Okay, I'm going in a little bit into this matte color called Fling, knocking off the excess. And I'm gonna go right over the top of where we just did that. And start at the outer area and just move up, and I'm sort of moving in and I'm gradually moving up. It's going to have other colors blended into it, so again, at this stage of the game, you don't have to be precise, okay? And I know that looks kind of weird, don't worry. We will take care of it. You're just putting color down, kind of in layers. That's how this is gonna go. Okay, and just back and forth. And you're gonna hit that lower lash line as well. All right. Okay. Next up, I think I am gonna go, yeah, again with my Sigma E44. Looks like that. And I'm gonna go into this color here that is called Hit It Off. And this is this blue one. It's kind of this cornflowery blue, but also it's a matte though. And I'm just picking up a little bit on that brush. And I'm gonna kind of outer corner and into the crease, okay? Just swirling it around. Reminding myself that yes, we are gonna blend this out further so it's not horrific as it seems. It's all right. Blue is such a scary color, isn't it? It's so pretty, but it really can scare you to death. And again, I am going below my lash line as well. Just smoking it up a little. All right, so now is the time to bring in some neutral. And I have a fluffy brush. Again, I know this is a Morphe brush, but I don't know what number or anything it's called. It's super fluffy, and mine still has a little bit of color from yesterday on it, but I'm kind of gonna use something similar. I'm going into this color here that is called Risque, and it's sort of a flesh tone but a deeper rosy glow to it as well, kind of a mauve color. And I'm going to pick up some of that on the brush, and this is going like into and just above the crease. And blend, 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 blend. Getting rid of hard edges and just kind of laying that color down a little bit to just try to start making it a little bit softer. And when I was saying we're going from the bottom up, see, normally this would have been one of the first steps. You would normally like apply your transition color, then you would have moved on to your lid, and then finally that outer corner and underneath. But sometimes with smoking up your shadows, it is a little bit easier when you work from the bottom up. It's just, well, it's a matter of choice and preference, and, you know, sometimes just changing it up. So blend, 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 blend. And just for good measure, I'm actually also taking some of this underneath to blend that too. Oh shoot. We're going to ignore that, okay? It's one of those marketing calls, and I know because I recognize that. Sorry. Figures it's got to go just now. Now here's the blending, dedicated blending brush, and that, again, we're just going to go over everything and blend, blend, blend like crazy. And just take as long as you need to with this process, because you are getting rid of any hard lines and you are making it like smoke. Just over and over and over again in like a rainbow motion or swirling motion. Some people like to call that the windshield wiper motion. I prefer the rainbow over the windshield wiper, but anyway. Okay. And that is pretty smoke it up, I would say. All right. Now, gonna go, a lot of times I will wait until I'm doing highlighter to do anything below the brow bone, but I do have this Bare Essentials big flat brush. Again, this one also does not have a number. It's so old, it's all completely removed, so don't know, but something flat and wide like this. And I'm going into a neutral. This one here, this is called Go Nude, actually, that one right there. And it is like a light nude color. It's matte. And I'm just picking up a little on my brush and going like this, just under my brow. Again, it's a wide, flat, fluffy brush, so it's blending right in to everything else. Okay. Now, all right, so at this point, you know, if you were doing more of an evening look, let's say, you could probably just go ahead and now start with maybe a little concealer to, you know, or pick up that fallout and get rid of that. Do some liner, some lashes. But if you kind of want this to not be quite so dramatic, here's where we would take, this product is from MAC, and it's a paint pot, and this is in Painterly. Gosh, I'm just knocking everything down, taking it out. This is that double-ended Doll 10 brush that's so good. I think it's number 7. Yeah, it's a number 7. And it's got a foundation brush on one end and a concealer brush on the other side. Anyway, this is what the MAC Painterly paint pot looks like. And yeah, that's the color is Painterly. I just dab the small end of this into that. And you're going to take it from your inner corner, half of your eyelid, just dabbing that on. Do you see that? Okay. And like that. It's going to take down the color and allow you to put another color over the top of that much easier. Now, the reason that we didn't say just try to do half of our eye is because you really want to get that blending down just right. And if you're kind of confined to trying to just stick to half your eye, you're not going to be able to blend it really well. I'm going here with this brush here, a clean little fluffy half round brush like that. Okay, and I'm kind of pressing that painterly into the eyelid and the inner corner, just to bring down that color tone and give it like a canvas so that we can move that color a little lighter for a different kind of look. Same on this side, just real easy. Okay. Press with your fingers if you want to. Okay. All right. And going to take, what brush do I want for this? What's this? This is another Morphe. It says Morphe, but no number. It's the same kind of thing. It's this half round, fluffy, domed brush. And I'm going to go in, and I think the color I want to use is just going to be the one that's called French Kiss, and it's kind of a little bronzy color here. Okay, let's do that and pick up just a little bit of that on this brush. It's a little bit of a wider brush so it can cover a greater area, but we're not going to go too crazy. And I'm just laying it down. I'm literally just kind of patting that on and in place where we left off. Same to the other side. I don't want to go too crazy because I don't want it looking super costumey. Just a little bit of shimmer and kind of neutral. All right. Okay, and at this point, I'm coming back with my Morphe, that E44. Is that what it is? Yeah. And I'm going to hit that color Fling. That was the very first color that we went into. And I'm barely picking any of this up onto the brush. I am just coming in from the side and rolling that kind of inwards. I'm trying to diffuse the line between those two colors. Whatever's left on the brush, take it to the other side, do the same thing. It's going in the crease and sticking to your outer corner because we're not disturbing the smoke with that. All right. Oops, gosh, I'm taking everything out. Going back to a dedicated blending brush. What happened to the one I was using? Here we go. That one. Same thing. See, there's a lot of blending involved, but you know you'll thank yourself later when you do all this prep work here and now. It's so much easier. And you don't want to be going on with your day and then suddenly glance and see a mirror and look at, oh no, look at all those lines of demarcation. See, if you just take the time and blend, yeah, it's boring, but whatever, it'll fix it. So now see how this is like lightened up completely. Before it was a much more dramatic look with the lids done in a dark color from here to here, but now with this half being lighter, this half being darker, it's, you know, it's just a little more wearable, a little more accessible, and you can do either one of those ways and it works. Okay, I think I'm just about ready to call this finished. I'm going to probably hit under here a little bit more once we do highlighter, but for now I'm thinking the shadow part is done. Here's another look at that beautiful palette, and we've kind of been concentrating on these blues, this one, and let's see, what else did we use? This color here, wasn't it? No, I'm sorry, it was this one, that one. Gosh, can't get my fingers coordinated there. And what else do we use? There was another one too. Oh, this one up here. There. Okay. So that is your Morphe 35V in action. Okay, so now I'm going to take a closer look. I'm just going to rotate my mirror to the magnification setting so I can see. I do have some fallout that occurred. I'm taking a big fluffy foundation brush and I'm going to brush away what I can. All right. And then I'm going to come in with something I've been using lately. I really like it is this Doll 10. This is the Hydrolux concealer. This is in light medium. A lot of times with concealers, see, you know, these lines that I've got going right here, if you kind of lighten those up with a lighter concealer, it's a little bit better. You can, you know, I don't think, you know, I can never quite ever get completely rid of them, because if you obliterate it, you know, then it's always so cakey, and I just don't like that. This Doll 10 doesn't get too cakey. Anyway, I just usually start and give it like maybe 4 little dots right there. And as I was saying, this number 7 brush, bring that in, and you just start patting it in right there. And then I finish with my finger. I just press it and move outward gently. Same with this one. Get that color down. And then press like this. I'm not pulling, I'm just pushing that product in. And you could now take the foundation brush side and just sort of give it a little bit of a sweep, just making sure that you've got everything covered. See, it's better than it was. All right. And like, I don't think I can ever get rid of my dark circles. They just, you know, the way to do it would be to use something that was incredibly full coverage, and it just doesn't work for me because I really, really hate when things settle into fine lines. And at this point, you know, just to get the discoloration gone, it's pretty good for me. Right now I'm going in with my Mr. Chiseled that we talked about last week from Too Faced, and I am going with my Cocoa Contour palette again. I'm hitting the shades medium contour and light, and I'm kind of bringing my brush across both to do that, and just hitting up those cheekbones, trying to sculpt some cheekbones. Same as we did in the longer version. A little bit on the jawline. Gosh, these cocoa products, Too Faced, you kill me. It smells so good. Okay, I do the hairline right under the cheekbone and the jawline. Delightful. Okay, and then another big favorite thing, goes without saying, you know I'm going to be using that chocolate gold Chocolate Soleil bronzer. This one. There. And this is actually, it's a Benefit Hula brush. I don't think Benefit would like that, using their bronzer brush for a different brand of bronzer, but it's a really good brush. Anyway, there you go. Just kind of doing a little bronzing. Okay. And I think highlighter. What do I want to do for a highlighter? I've been using this Laura Geller Gelato Swirl Illuminator. This is in Gilded Honey. And I've really been liking this. I've been using it the last couple of days, and I kind of like it. Something about that kind of gold summertime thing. So I'm gonna open this up. It looks like that, Gelato Swirl. Isn't that pretty? I'm gonna take a highlighter brush and just go around in there a little bit, and right there. And there, you see that? Woo! What kind of, wow. It's there. Okay, now I'm sweeping it just lightly under the brow bone, connecting that up. I put a little bit right here, a little here. just kind of the way I like to do highlighter. Some people would do, if they were going to use a blush, they would do that first and the highlighter on top of that. But just because, you see, this is, you know, a little more blinding than I normally like to do it. So now my blush will diffuse it down a little. So I think my blush of choice today is going to be, no, not you. Let's see. I'm going to use Anastasia Beverly Hills, but I'm just trying to pick up the right one. Nope. Come out, come out. I have too much. Too many choices. Life is offering too many choices sometimes. Here we go. This is the one I want. This is the Blush Trio in Pink Passion, Anastasia Beverly Hills. And you've got 3 shades of beautiful pinks here. You can mix them or you can use them one at a time or 2 of them, however you want to do that. I'm going to kind of stick along the side with these 2 right here and kind of blend them together. That would be the Sugar and Basically. Okay, I'm just doing those 2 together, a little bit of a swirl. And then, again, barely touching, just letting the product lay down, not digging in, just letting it do its thing. Okay, there we go. See, and it's really kind of calmed that down a little, so that's more wearable for me. All right, now we can move on to eyebrows, and this is just a basic e.l.f. eyebrow pencil. You want to make sure that you come in there and give your eyebrows a little bit of grooming, comb them. Even if you don't use an eyebrow pencil, just always make sure that they look groomed, because when they look messy, it's just, you know, can really kind of bring your look down a little. All right, this is a nice little pencil, and I'm just kind of following my line down here because I'm sparse like right here and here. This is my area that I've, you know, lost some hair over the years, so I am just gently making like little brush stroke hair strokes, you know, but I'd like to keep the bottom line as a guide. Okay, like this. And same with the other side. Just kind of keep a guide going. Hit that anywhere that you feel sparse. Try to imitate little hair strokes. Again, really take your time, because one false move and you're going to have to end up like redoing. If you make those brush strokes too thick or too hard, then it's really hard to get rid of them. So better to just kind of take your time. And this is my well-behaved brow. This is my not so well-behaved brow. Going back in now with that, well, if I could find it, we are, but if I can't, we'll move on to something else. I was going to go back in with that same blue. Oh, here you are. That original blue Physicians Formula liner that we used, going under my eye, right close to the lash line, just to make a defining line. I don't go all the way to the inner corner. I stop where my iris stops, from the outer corner until I meet my iris there. Okay, that's how that goes. Then, bringing the black around, I will just do my top line from the outer corner to the mid. I'll do the inner corner once I get mascara on. Join them up. completely impossible to do mascara and talk at the same time. So I'm going to do that. Be right back, and we'll wrap this up, okay? Okay, so mascara's in place now, and I'm just hitting the tips of them with this Bad Gal Bang by Benefit. It's got this beautiful long brush that is so easy to get every tip in the corners and out. So I usually finish off with that, and I'm just kind of touching it to the lashes just to get the very tips done. And it's the blackest of black, so it's really good, and it's a good little finishing thing to do. Okay. I'm going to take my lash comb that I'm always so enthralled with, and I just want to comb down through the bottom ones just because I don't want anything looking clumpy or cakey. I don't like that. And anything else that just needs to be combed into place. Okay. For lips, y'all know I love an overdrawn lip. So I'm actually taking, believe it or not, my brown eyeliner. This is that Makeup Forever that I have been literally using forever. And it's not super, super sharp, but I kind of take it, instead of point on just from the side, and hit my bottom lower lip lightly. To define that, yeah, because I'm just crazy about an overdrawn lip. And then lightly on the top. Because that's the way I like it. And then over that, I've got this Laura Geller. This is Color Luster Lip Gloss, and this is also in the color Gilded Honey. And it's just a little bit of a pinky champagne shimmer that's going over the top. And if you need to blur your lines for whatever reason, a little Q-tip can help you do that. Okay, I'll probably remove my headband now. And that's still a little bit of a hot mess there, but okay. It just is what it is. This is wasn't really meant to be with the hair. Okay, my last thing, it's just, again, something I like to do. I'm going back to that Laura Geller, the Baked Gelato Swirl. This is in the, gosh, why do I keep forgetting the name? Gilded Honey color. And it's the color that we use to highlight. I am just taking her out for one last time. Taking my ring finger and just kind of pressing that in. And right in the middle, I'm hitting the top lip and the bottom with just a little extra, just because I like that. And that completes this look. I hope that you enjoyed this. I'm going to come in close for you so you can see. That's how we ended up. And I hope that you might take a chance with some blues, give it a little bit of a run, and see if you have something that you know, you can make it work for. And again, if you feel like you want to know how to do a glammed up club party look with the shimmery blues, let's do it. Just let me know down below. Go ahead and weigh in with your questions or your comments all about blue. If you're gonna try it, if you would never go near it, if you think it looks good, if you think it doesn't look good, just share with me. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up so we have a better chance of hitting somebody's sidebar. Maybe it's over here when this is up, I'm not sure. You can hit that little bell down there to well, not subscribe, it it actually notifies you. It's a notification bell, and it lets you know every time there's an upload. And I'm trying to be more consistent, and I'm terrible at it, but I'm doing everything I can to try to get on a better schedule and get things done. So any suggestions or topics that you want covered, let me know. And until then, I will see you next time, and sparkle hard, everybody. Bye-bye.